Mississippi River here in the town of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where tens of thousands have gathered for Southern University homecoming weekend. They'll take on the visiting Alcorn State Braves in homecoming game 2018, and tens of thousands have gathered here for all the festivities. It is going to be a wild one, but before we get you all set for the opening kickoff, we're going to show you a little bit of HBCU homecoming, Southern University style. For all of that, let's send you to a man who's right down there in the thick of it, Jay Walker. Jay, what's going on, man?
I'm out here in the middle of the Jaguar Nation. Some people say the best HBCU fans in the country. But you know who could care about less about that? Them Braves from Alcorn State University are here trying to ruin homecoming for the Jags. I think this is one of the best homecomings you'll find in the SWAC. We'll see how it all plays out. We're going to bring you some Gimme Five. We're going to bring you some food, some tailgate, some jambalaya, some crawfish, some boudin, all that good stuff when we get on the other side. But right now, let's get ready for some football.
ESPN College Football brought to you by McDonald's. We are here at A.W. Mumford Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where it's homecoming weekend 2018. Alcorn State, the visiting team, the Braves coming from the Eastern Division of the SWAC, four-time defending champions of that division against the Jaguars of Southern University. Both teams 1-0 in conference play. Fred McNair, third season as the head football coach, but seventh season overall at his alma mater, Alcorn State, and, of course, most of his family from there as well.
It'll always be the original Air McNair to me. That's Air McNair, the original one. Steve McNair was Air 2, so Air McNair, but now he's Fred Air McNair, the coach, doing a pretty good job down there on the reservation.
And we talked about it earlier. He thinks he has one of his most talented teams that he's ever had. And on the other side, Dawson Odom's in his sixth season, or seventh rather, as head coach of Southern University.
And Odom, he's had some staying power here. I thought a lot of people thought it was going to be a temporary fix. He's continued to have winning seasons. But the key, when you're going to be the head coach of Southern, they're going to measure you on how you do against Grambling State University. That's what he's got to do. He's got to win this game here. It's homecoming. But he's got to figure out a way to knock off the G-men.
So Southern has won the toss. They will receive. They'll be moving from left to right on your screen. Corey McCullough will tee it up in. One of the deep men back is Jamarqueza Mims. 65th meeting, Alcorn State leading the overall series and has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two prestigious HBCUs. Mims taking the kickoff and still fighting for extra yardage, gets out to the 28-yard line where Southern University will take over 1st and 10. They'll be led by their quarterback, John Lampley, a guy still developing, still learning this game, but that the coaches are confident that he can lead the offense successfully.
Very talented but very inexperienced. He's a sophomore because he replaced Austin Howard, who was a 4-year starter down here for the Jaguars, but they think he's got the tools, dual threat runner, so a little bit different. Austin Howard was a pocket passer. John Lampley is a guy, he's a dual threat guy, can run and pass the football.
And he is the leading rusher by a few yards over the guy who just got that opening handoff, Devin Ben, and Ben is taken down by another man we're going to talk about, Solomon Muhammad. That inside linebacker is always around the football.
And Muhammad has NFL talent. He's a special player from Birmingham, Alabama, the junior. Watch him just shed the blocker. That's a mental error by the blocker. Did not know who he was supposed to block. You don't allow the Mike linebacker to go untouched to your running back first play of the game.
-6 on that first down play, and now a little delayed handoff, and it's Ben again up the middle. Gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage before Terry Whittington brought him down.
Good looking Muhammad. We saw him on the first play. 6'1", 235-pound junior from Parker High School in Birmingham, the legendary Parker High. Very talented. He's got NFL scouts taking a look at him.
Yeah, coaches at Alcorn think that he has next level ability and potential, but they said he needs to get out of his own way. Sometimes he sees too much. That's a lot of talent, folks. 3rd down, big one on the opening drive here. 3rd and long. for Southern. Lampley running out of time. Oh, and he is hit very hard and bent backwards awkwardly by Terry Whittington, delivering a large blow that time. He'll be well short of the first down, but luckily not injured after taking a hit like that.
Yeah, he got caught in no man's land. Good job escaping, but he's going to get tripped up from behind and then hit up top from Quentin Smith, the strong safety for the Braves. Lampley showing some toughness, able to get up from that big hit from Smith.
Whittington stood him up. Sean Ely is back to receive, but we have a whistle. Ely is back for Alcorn at his own 30.
Uniform violation. You see that? They pulled him out for the uniform violation. Now, I'm confused. I thought they said they were going to warn the players in the beginning, but they didn't want to stop play for the new rule that says you must cover your kneecaps with your pants.
Cesar Barajas, the Aussie style punt, running inside, and that one pretty effective as it rolls out of bounds inside the 30, I believe they'll mark it. No, just outside the 30, close to the 35-yard line, where Alcorn will take over 1st and 10. 36-yard punt that goes out of bounds, of course, no return. And as we talked about earlier, nice homecoming crowd in Alcorn. We see some purple and gold in the stands here. Noah Johnson, their quarterback, he too, their leading rusher. He is another guy that can hurt you with his arm and his feet.
Yeah, no, that's a beard right there.
That is.
Beard, dual threat guy. We've seen him. He's emerged as the leader of this offense. We will see Felix Harper as well. They like to have 2 quarterbacks on standby at Alcorn.
And this is P.J. Simmons. Not a whole lot of room as he tried to bounce it off the right side, but he might have lost a yard. I think he did. It'll be 2nd and long.
Ironic, talking to both teams, they said this game was going to be won by whoever can run the football. So offensive and defensive players are going to win this football game, and we'll see who does it on the line. That's going to be the key. A nice run.
Simmons, a nice hole off the near side, gets up close to first down yardage. He thinks he has it. Depends on the stop. Right about the 44. And it looks like from here they'll be about a yard short.
You see they're averaging almost 7 yards per carry. They think Simmons is a unique back. He's got special talents with the way that he can get that forward lean after contact. And you saw a good glimpse of it there with the senior from Tallahassee, Florida.
Averages 6.8 yards per carry, has 3 touchdowns on the season coming into this one. And on 3rd and short, here's Simmons, and Simmons will fight his way across the 35. That'll be good for 1st down. They should move the chains. Jordan Lewis was in there in the middle of that pile trying to hold him up, but I don't think he quite accomplished that. So they'll move the 6, 1st and 10, as Alcorn keeps the drive alive.
The defensive coordinator, Trey Oliver, said he's challenging his defensive line to rise up to the challenge and stop the run. They really want to make Alcorn one-dimensional. So far, not getting it done on the opening series.
Noah Johnson making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage, and now he'll give Simmons going right up the middle, almost keeps his balance, and is really frustrated that he wasn't taking that one at least close to the house. But a nice run by P.J. Simmons.
They're getting it done up the middle behind number 76, Ibrahim. Good job on the block there. 2 defenders go to the A-gap. Nice vision by Simmons. Picks up 7 on 1st down.
A little bubble screen out to the far side and has a receiver inside the 40-yard line. Goes Chris Blair. And another well-conceived play, the first pass play for Alcorn in this game.
And this is how you do the bubble screen from the wide receiver position. Look at the top of your screen. Don't hold the guy inside out. You're going to see the defender run himself out of the play. Watch the guy in the middle, how he just lets him go in, circles him around, then let him go. Just use your body to stay between you and the ball carrier. That's what sprung the wide receiver.
Impressive march so far by the Braves of Alcorn State. All at the 37, 1st and 10. Johnson, quick swing. P.J. Simmons was looking where he was going to go with it before he actually pulled it in.
Oh, wow. And that would have been a nice one-on-one matchup that really would have challenged the Southern defender to make an open field tackle. The best ball carrier from Alcorn State.
Simmons has to hold on to that football.
Montavious Gaines had a little bit to say to him. And, oh, were you afraid that I was coming up? But you know the kind of trash that gets talked on the field. 7th play of the drive coming up.
I think Montavious is about to get shook. He's about to get juked.
Well, we'll never know now, right? And 2nd down. Johnson threw that one quickly. He was under some heavy pressure. Had to get it away quicker than he wanted to. Jaron Johnson was in his face a little bit. He was looking for Chris Blair.
And I don't know about the decision there by Noah Johnson. That was a run-pass option, those RPOs. I mean, Simmons has been running that football well. We saw Simmons get through the line of scrimmage pretty clean. Might have picked up a first down had Johnson decided to let him keep the football.
Now, the coaches we talked to told us that he's really improved as a passer. He's completing 71%. So we'll see how he does there. 3rd down this season, Alcorn has converted on 37%. Noah Johnson working with an empty backfield. Johnson steps up, slings it, and has a man inside the 25. What a leaping catch by Chris Blair. And they'll move the chains again.
Nice size, 6'3". They say when you see the wide receivers, they look like a basketball team. Well, take a look at this basketball catch. That right there going up high to get it. That's almost a candidate for you got mossed.
You got mossed. Well, he did that to a lot of people, didn't he? Chris Blair came in with 13 catches, averaging almost 13 yards a catch coming into the contest tonight.
The starting wide receivers for Alcorn State, 6'2", 6'2", 6'3", 6'3", and 6'5". So I thought Coach McNair described it right when he said, we have a basketball squad playing wide receiver.
Right, and he's got a football squad playing the line as well. Timeout on the field because they rotate 10 or 11 guys along the offensive line as well. They like all of their guys. They think they're very deep. They just have to get a little bit more experience, according to Coach McNair and his staff. And he has big expectations for these guys this year.
Yeah, I would say so. This is probably his most talented team. He felt that since he's been the head coach, and the fresh bodies, fresh leg, that's probably a carryover from the Hobson era. Hobson always believed in having depth on the defensive line and offensive lines. Right now, the Southern defense, their job was to stop the run. Alcorn's done a pretty good job controlling the line of scrimmage early. So they got to get something going, maybe get a little energy from the cheerleaders.
Coach Odom's told us that we just haven't been consistent enough. We just got to put it all together and all be on the same page at the same time. He sees the potential. Johnson going for it all. Far corner and a little bit overshot is his intended receiver, Dayal Harris, number 10, and incomplete.
Yeah, they're excited about Harris, the transfer from the University of Miami, another 6'3" wide receiver. Trying to give him that one-on-one matchup, that 50-50 jump ball, but Johnson off the mark a little bit, threw it out of the end zone.
On 2nd down and 10. Little delay. DJ Simmons stacked up by a host of Columbia blue and gold. But there's a flag on the play as well. Tyron Nash, number 95, the big defensive end, was one of the first to meet him. We'll see what they sort out. Chop block, first penalty of the game. Our referee Eddie Kelly announcing that. So a chop block against Alcorn. And it doesn't look like Coach McNair either agrees with the call or agrees with the play of the player who committed this foul.
You see it right there, left side of your screen. One player is engaged high, then 88, the tight end Demetrius Lewis comes in and cuts him low. That's an easy call. That's a dangerous block. Cannot do that. Good job by the officials seeing it right away.
So because of the penalty, first and very long, another quick screen out to the far side. And still on his feet, getting inside the 30-yard line after that reception Looks like LaCharles Pringle, the wide receiver, caught that one on the bubble screen and picked up fairly good yardage. 11 on the play give him. It'll be 3rd down and long.
One of the benefits of having such long wide receivers is you have the ability to do those wide receiver screens against smaller defensive backs. And I'm impressed the way the Alcorn receiving corps has been able to block for each other when they get the ball.
Alcorn trying to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down. This will be challenging. 3rd and long. Johnson under some heavy pressure. Glenn Brown was the first one to get to him on the blitz. And now they're probably out of field goal range for Corey McCullough. This would be like a 52-yarder. I think that's a little bit outside what they'd like to do with him, and just getting around the corner.
Yeah, just put the speed rush on, and that was a good job of lowering the shoulder pad level, able to get there. That's a little bit of a mismatch when they bring the smaller linebacker safeties around against an offensive lineman.
So McCullough going to punt this one. And this one hanging high, but will go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 7:46 to go in the opening quarter after that 35-yard punt. We are scoreless. Southern University's homecoming 0-0.
The all-new Acura RDX with ELS Studio 3D sound.
Alcorn had an opportunity to put some points on the scoreboard, but a nice job by the Southern defense coming up with the big play. Jordan Lewis, the freshman pass rusher, 6'3", 195-pound, went with a speed rush to get around. Noah Johnson didn't see him coming. That knocked the Braves out of field goal position.
So now, good effort from the Jaguars defense, and after the touchback on the punt, Southern takes over 1st and 10 at its 20, and coming off the near side before being stacked up after a short pickup is Devin Ben. He picked up 2 on that 1st down play.
That'll still be the big challenge. Who will have success running the football?
Lampley stepping up, will keep it and go down for his own safety. We do have a flag on the play. He slid forward for about 2 yards.
Back in that area where you probably see holding.
And holding against Mason Sims, one of the starting offensive linemen for Dawson Odoms. And it'll repeat 2nd down as no, they decline the penalty, and it'll be 3rd down.
I'm a little surprised he declined that.
Yeah, so
that holding was pretty deep in the backfield, and it would have been 2nd and very long the way the defense has been playing. But Coach McNair selected to try and get a 3 and out.
Lampley on the out pattern. And they're going to say he hauled that one in out across the 30.
Should have taken that holding penalty.
And that'll give him 1st down yardage as he found Trey Smith before Javen Morrison pushed him out of bounds. A gain of 9, and that moves to 6, Jay.
Yeah, all they needed was 9 yards. Plenty of offensive plays you can call. Curl routes, out routes. Had it been 2nd and 20, 25 would have been a lot harder. So let's see if Southern can make them pay for that mistake on this drive.
Definitely on a little delay. Gave it to Devin Ben again for a short gain.
And right here, just pitching it and catching it. Good job of getting it in. Gets the feet down. You only need 1 foot down in college football. You see it right there. Possession of the ball.
That would have been good in the Sunday League as well.
Starting to get a little rain here in Baton Rouge, so keep an eye on that in terms of the ability to throw the football.
Lampley looking to throw again, deflected at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted. Having it go right through his hands. Whittington was the first one to tip it, and then it went in and out of the hands of another defender who had a chance to get one, and we call that a surprise. Terry Whittington was the one who got his hands on it, and might have been Kwanzi Jackson, number 52, who actually had it go through his hands after the deflection, and he wishes he had that one back. I don't know if the ball's wet enough to affect you catching it right now. Here's the third down. Stepping up in the pocket and running out of room. And he is going to be brought down, that time by Gerald Henderson.
There. Now, it's homecoming, right? This is the big game, conference game. They got to have it, right? That's like the line. You see that people are trying to leave the stadium because of the rain.
Wow.
Just cover up. I know it's homecoming.
Right.
And like my old coach, you say, the party don't start till we win. you need them here. You know, I'm looking over across the stadium and I'm seeing people going to the exits with just a little downpour. But to be honest, you know, sisters ain't going to get their hair messed up.
Oh, that is a terrible, and we get a late flag, but a terrible kick that time by Barajas. And some contact perhaps made with him as he got that one away. A flag is down.
This will be crucial because I wonder. They call him 5-yard penalty.
So that's
But that was a horrible
running
punt.
into the kicker.
Yeah, I thought they might have tipped it. Did they not get a tip on this block? No. Okay, he missed it there, and it came off the side of his foot. Had he kicked it straight, it would have been blocked.
And the punt was only 11 yards. We'll be back.
Here we go. Discover.
I like your card, but I'm absolutely not paying an annual fee.
Discover has no annual fees.
Really? Yeah.
We just don't believe in them.
Oh, nice. You would not believe how long I've been rehearsing that.
No annual fee on any card, only from Discover.
1 cup of lemonade. Time to pack up, kids.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Get every live game every Sunday at no extra charge when you switch to DirecTV. More for your thing. That's our thing.
But it was only 5 yards, so they'll replay fourth down, and here we have a replay of the punt. And the low line drive is fielded by LaShawn Ely, and he signals the fair catch at the 33-yard line. Another flag down on the play. So the holding penalty against Alcorn will be added on to the end of the kick. The Braves take over when we come back.
Is presented by McDonald's.
Back here at A.W. Mumford Stadium, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, along with Jay Walker, Eric Clemens. We are getting late in the first quarter. Homecoming game 2018 for Southern University against Alcorn State. Both teams scoreless so far. Alcorn taking over 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Alcorn State from the Braves, 23.
Off the play fake. And Johnson with a strike. And that finds his receiver, Charles Hughes, out to the 35-yard line. Good for 12 yards and a first down.
First and 10, 3.
P.J. Simmons tried to bounce to the outside, but he had nowhere to go after taking an initial hit. He'll wind up losing a few yards. Jordan Williams was the guy who cleaned up and give him a loss of 2 on that play. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Good job, stuff in the middle, trying to rise to the challenge. We know that Alcorn wants to pound the football and run the football with P.J. Simmons, their running back, but Southern doing a good job keeping fresh legs on the field, fresh D linemen. They said they'll play all the D linemen if they have to.
If you've never seen a McNair coach team before, you might think they sling it all over the place with the passing acumen that they had during their playing careers, but no, and coming around the corner to apply some heavy pressure on Johnson was Elijah Small on the blitz, and Johnson just barely got it away before being buried.
Yeah, they're having trouble protecting Johnson. It's consecutive passes where he's dropped back and gotten hit in a crucial situation when playing behind the chains, and you see what they're trying to do. Every time they get to Johnson, it's not with their defensive linemen. It's when they bring in a blitzing linebacker or a pass rush specialist. So they're hitting him hard with the speed rush, and Alcorn has not been able to adjust yet.
Mass substitutions in the defensive package for Southern on 3rd and 12. Johnson looking deep downfield, and he overshot his intended receiver. It's intercepted. Demario Houston with a flag down gets it inside the 40-yard line of Alcorn. Give him 29 yards on the interception return.
Unlike getting an interception during homecoming, everybody sees it. It's just a poor read. He looks him all the way to the left. The receiver gives up the route. It looks like Charles Hughes is saying, I know you're not going to throw the ball to me. I've got coverage over the top. And Demario Houston with a good job with the return after getting the interception. Unfortunately for Southern, there was a penalty call with a block in the back, so he'll lose a little bit of that return yardage.
And they'll mark that penalty from the 40-yard line of Alcorn, so it'll go back to midfield. And great field position for John Lampley and this Jaguars offense to take over. And a little bit of room. Ben showing some strength and power, gets inside the 45-yard line.
Good piece of running inside, then outside. Ben showing a little bit of his versatility. Call him the power back of the bunch. Steady guy. Doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he's not slow. But knows the whole blocking scheme. He's a guy that does not have to leave the field.
Lampley coming on a little bubble screen near side. A lot of white shirts around that one, and fighting for extra yardage after the reception is Kendall Catalan. And Catalan, with that second and third effort, might have actually gotten the first down. I think he did.
Yeah, good job of running after the catch, knowing where the chains were, and able to pick up the first down. The Southern wide receiver core, the exact opposite of the Alcorn wide receiver core. Southern started 3 wide receivers, none of them over 5'9".
And here's Ben getting inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line. Now they're opening up a few holes. Another 8-yard run by Devin Ben.
And I'm starting to see this offensive line from Southern finish off their blocks. They've got some momentum.
They're hurrying it up a bit as well on the quick second down play. Ben going off the right side, and he'll be very close to first down yardage at the 30 of Alcorn.
2 runs. Picked up the first down, moving the sticks. Southern starting to find a little rhythm offensively.
Ben averaging 4.5 yards a carry coming in, has a touchdown and a fumble. As you said, solid and dependable for this team. They know what they get when they give it to number 9. And here's Ben again. And Ben fights his way down to about the 26.
That's a good job there. I mean, I thought he was hit probably at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard behind it. But you talk about that forward lean, that motor, able to pick up 4 yards on what seemed to be a very boring run, but it was an efficient run.
Yeah, they said, Coach Odom said he always seems to fall forward. You love guys like that, especially in short yardage situation. On second down, Ben again falls forward again. This time it looked like he might have crawled inside the 35. Terry Whittington, one of those inside to make the hit. And it'll be placed at the 24-yard line. So a big third down here as Southern looks to continue this drive, taking it into the deepest part of Alcorn State territory.
Alcorn trying to stack the box, trying to bait Southern into throwing the football, taking away the running game.
Southern 1 for 3 on third downs. Here's a big one. Lampley stepping up. Lampley cuts inside on a tackler, and a nice move will get him another first down depending on the spot. I think they got it.
A great job by the sophomore changing directions. You'll see him go through his progressions in the pocket. He steps up, going to the left, one cut, get inside, know where the first down marker is, picks up the first down for the Jaguars.
8th play of the drive coming up. 1st and 10 from the 20. First visit into the red zone for the Jaguars of Southern. Here's Lampley. Quick swing. Well.
Wow. That would have been interesting as well. We saw Alcorn had the same situation, running back in the flat with plenty of space with one tackler, puts a lot of pressure on your defense to make that open field tackle. But the running backs in this game have not been able to hold on to the football.
Jamarqueza Mims was the one who, I guess, just didn't look that one in. He had quite a bit of space to work with out on the little swing. So on second down. Off the play fake. Lampley going end zone. And knocked away at the last moment. He was looking for Randall Menard, his wide receiver, number 87, and there on the coverage was Javen Morrison to come in and knock that one away.
Randall Menard is 6th-year senior for Southern University. It seems like he's been down here in Baton Rouge forever, but he comes off the bench. They go to him with those jump ball situations. He's the tallest receiver they have on the roster at 6'3".
Another big third down. This is 3rd and 10.
Alcorn's having trouble getting pressure on the quarterback. Lampley's starting to get real comfortable in the pocket in throwing situations.
They call the blitz, and running out of time, he tried to shovel it ahead, but it'll be called incomplete. Lampley was going down and got rid of it. At the last moment, he was looking for Devin Ben on the quick shovel, but it was a little bit short, so it'll be 4th down. And it'll be a 38-yard field goal attempt. Well, let's make it 37.
7-yard field goal for Southern. Number 36, Martel Fontenot.
Martel Fontenot from 36. And it is no good. So we are still scoreless as we get to the end of the first quarter, at least towards it. We'll be back.
USAA Bank helps you stay a step ahead. Find help at every turn with USAA Bank.
ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sam and the guys will have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff. And like everything else, it's live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Final seconds of the first quarter here. Still scoreless. Homecoming weekend at Southern University here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Going deep down the far side. And it is incomplete, but we have a flag down on the play.
Whoa. I thought that went back and forth. That was just a good battle.
Dayal Harris and Timothy Thompson going head-to-head for it down the far sideline.
That ball stayed in the air for a long time. You see going for the go route to the outside, and right there he's slowing down. I think we missed his initial push to get some separation. Draped on him pretty good. When you replay it, I can agree with that call.
So after the pass interference penalty, it is 1st and 10 from the 35. Little fake jet sweep, and Noah Johnson, the leading rusher for Alcorn coming into this game, picks up good yardage on 1st down, and that'll do it for the 1st quarter. We've had both teams with opportunities to get on the scoreboard, but so far, nothing doing. Alcorn continues its drive as we pick up the 2nd quarter when we come back. Or gets inside the 45-yard line.
Good piece of running inside, then outside. Ben showing a little bit of his versatility. Call him the power back of the bunch. Steady guy. Doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he's not slow. But knows the whole blocking scheme. He's a guy that does not have to leave the field.
Lampley coming on a little bubble screen near side. A lot of white shirts around that one, and fighting for extra yardage after the reception is Kendall Catalan. And Catalan, with that 2nd and 3rd effort, might have actually gotten the 1st down. I think he did.
Yeah, good job of running after the catch and knowing where the chains were and able to pick up the 1st down. The Southern wide receiver core, the exact opposite of the Alcorn wide receiver core. Southern starting 3 wide receivers, none of them over 5'9".
And here's Ben getting inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line. Now they're opening up a few holes. Another 8-yard run by Devin Ben.
And I'm starting to see this offensive line from Southern finish off their blocks. They've got some momentum.
They're hurrying it up a bit as well on the quick 2nd down play. Ben going off the right side, and he'll be very close to 1st down yardage at the 30 of Alcorn.
2 runs, picked up the 1st down, moving the sticks. Southern starting to find a little rhythm offensively.
Ben averaging 4.5 yards a carry coming in, has a touchdown and a fumble. As you said, solid and dependable for this team. They know what they get when they give it to number 9. And here's Ben again. And Ben fights his way down to about the 26.
That's a good job there. I mean, I thought he was hit probably at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard behind it. But you talk about that forward lean, that motor, able to pick up 4 yards on what seemed to be a very boring run, but it was an efficient run.
Yeah, they said, Coach Odom said, he always seems to fall forward. You love guys like that, especially in short yardage situation. And on 2nd down, Ben again falls forward again. This time it looked like he might have crawled inside the 35. Terry Whittington, one of those inside to make the hit. And it'll be placed at the 24-yard line. So a big 3rd down here as Southern looks to continue this drive, taking it into the deepest part of Alcorn State territory.
Alcorn trying to stack the box, trying to bait Southern into throwing the football, taking away the running game.
Southern 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. Here's a big one. Lampley stepping up. Lampley cuts inside of a tackler, and a nice move will get him another 1st down depending on the spot. I think they got it.
A great job by the sophomore changing directions. You'll see him go through his progressions in the pocket. He steps up, going to the left. 1 cut. Get inside. Know the 1st down marker is. Picks up the 1st down for the Jaguars.
8th play of the drive coming up. 1st and 10 from the 20. First visit into the red zone for the Jaguars of Southern. Here's Lampley. Quick swing. Well.
Wow. That would have been interesting as well. We saw Alcorn had the same situation, running back in the flat with plenty of space with 1 tackler. Puts a lot of pressure on your defense to make that open field tackle. But the running backs in this game have not been able to hold on to the football.
Jamarqueza Mims was the one who, I guess, just didn't look that one in. He had quite a bit of space to work with out on a little swing. So on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Lampley going end zone. And knocked away at the last moment. He was looking for Randall Menard, his wide receiver, number 87, and there on the coverage was Javen Morrison to come in and knock that one away.
Randall Menard, the 6th-year senior for Southern University. It seems like he's been down here in Baton Rouge forever, but he comes off the bench. They go to him with those jump ball situations. He's the tallest receiver they have on the roster at 6'3".
Another big third down. This is 3rd and 10.
Alcorn's having trouble getting pressure on the quarterback. Lampley's starting to get real comfortable in the pocket in throwing situations.
They call the blitz and running out of time. He tried to shovel it ahead, but it'll be called incomplete. Lampley was going down and got rid of it. At the last moment, he was looking for Devin Ben on the quick shovel, but it was a little bit short, so it'll be 4th down. And it'll be a 38-yard field goal attempt. Well, let's make it 37.
7-yard field goal for Southern. Number 36, Martel Fontenot.
Martel Fontenot from 36. And it is no good. So we are still scoreless as we get to the end of the first quarter, at least towards it. We'll be back.
He juked every single guy in the field.
For NFL Sunday with ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. Sam and the guys will have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and preview each game right up to kickoff. And like everything else, it's live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Final seconds of the first quarter here. Still scoreless. Homecoming weekend at Southern University here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Going deep down the far side. And it is incomplete, but we have a flag down on the play.
Whoa. I thought that went back and forth. That was just a good battle.
Dayal Harris and Timothy Thompson going head-to-head for it down the far sideline.
That ball stayed in the air for a long time. You see, going for the go route to the outside, and right there he's slowing down. And I think we missed his initial push to get some separation. Draped on him pretty good. When you replay it, I can agree with that call.
So after the pass interference penalty, it is 1st and 10 from the 35. Little fake jet sweep, and Noah Johnson, the leading rusher for Alcorn coming into this game, picks up good yardage on 1st down, and that'll do it for the first quarter. We've had both teams with opportunities to get on the scoreboard, but so far, nothing doing. Alcorn continues its drive as we pick up the second quarter when we come back.
For a nasty cold, take new DayQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool and vaporize it with an intense rush of Vicks Vapors. New DayQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool. The daytime coughing, stuffy head, vaporize your cold medicine.
Monday Night Football is your future.
Chiefs Broncos tonight at 8:15 on ESPN.
Homecoming weekend, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Jay, you talked about it earlier. Not a lot of grilling here. A lot of boiling, a lot of stewing, a lot of gumbo. I think that's gizzards.
Yeah, they got everything.
A little bit.
What's on the menu down here?
Everything.
Everything. Everything.
Little bubble screen is blown up almost immediately. And coming up from the secondary for the hit was Demario Houston, who had that pick earlier in the game. And so 3rd down upcoming.
I recognize straight man-to-man coverage from Southern University, the look they're giving you.
And now
cause a little confusion for Alcorn.
Now Noah Johnson gonna signal timeout and talk things over with the coaching staff over there. Fred McNair trying to figure out a good Third down call.
And this is something now, when they're coming out giving you man-to-man coverage, a little bit of football 101, the type of routes that you run, that changes what you can do. You don't want to run like curl routes or hitches versus man-to-man. You want to have slants, crossing patterns, something where you give your receiver an opportunity to separate from the defender. That being said, maybe you get a little rub play in there where the wide receivers crisscross each other. Be curious to see if Southern still comes out to play man-to-man after showing it and watching Alcorn call a timeout.
Alcorn's coming in with some impressive credentials on at or near the top of the conference in just about every defensive category and averaging over 40 a game on offense, but haven't been able to score so far. Quick slant pattern is caught by Chris Blair, who is met immediately, but right across the first down sticks at the 48-yard line, give him 7. Chase Foster was the one who met him immediately, but a little too late.
They got there late, but it was nice recognition by Noah Johnson. Quick decision, stick the slant pattern in the seam in between the linebacker and the safety. That's what you have to do. When you get a zone coverage look, you attack the crease. Johnson recognized it through a strike.
For the Braves, 48.
First down, A.J. Simmons trying to cut it back, and a lot of Columbia blue shirts are there to greet him as he didn't get much. Montavious Gaines, one of the first back there to meet him. Gaines, one of 3 leading tacklers on this defense with 19 on the season coming in. And at the rover position, one of the guys who's the heart and soul of that defense. 6'2", 180 redshirt junior. Here's a quick swing pass. Simmons gets across midfield and is pushed out of bounds, but we do have a flag on the play. So the signals a block below the waist. And they're going to march off 10 yards from the spot of that foul, which will put the ball back at the 36-yard line. And I just want to know if I can ever do a game where the referee's mic works. I don't think we've ever had one. Have we ever had one?
Rarely. Maybe Celebration Bowl, maybe. maybe. For a quarter or so. So Noah Johnson facing a second and very long penalty, 15 yards after a 4-yard gain. And now Johnson in some trouble, getting away from it. Trying to buy some time and shovels it forward. Has a man at the 35 or 36-yard line. It was Marquise Foreman, backup running back. Also a guy who averages 6.8 yards a carry. And is a pretty good receiver as well. You notice the thing, they're still getting Johnson off his spot. He wants to settle right there, but no. You've got blue jerseys coming, so they force him to leave the pocket, get him off the spot. I have to give a lot of credit to this Southern defensive line, the front 7. They're not allowing Johnson to get comfortable in the pocket.
It is 3rd and 21. Johnson under pressure again, steps up to it and throws near side across midfield. He hits his receiver, Dayal Harris. And Harris gets across midfield to the 49-yard line, a pickup of 14, but it'll still be about 6-7 yards short.
And once again, they get him off the spot. He gets it to the top of his drop, and he's thinking about where he has to move because they cannot protect him from this defensive line of Southern University.
Corey McCullough averaging 42.4 yards per kick. Sends this one away where the fair catch signal is made at the 13-yard line. 36-yard punt, no return, and we have no score. 11:27 to go in the second quarter.
The NBA on ESPN is back October 17th, presented by State Farm.
So while we have a little break in the action here early in the second quarter, your power rankings, your top 5.
Yeah, I think Howard, number 5, impressive victory over Bethune-Cookman a week ago. Grambling, the lowest I've had Grambling quite some time, but I think Prairie View's going to beat them. That's why I put Prairie View ahead of them. Number 2, A&T, you got to come down. You lost to Morgan State, but they recovered with a victory. Tennessee State, Big Blue. Rod Reed, it's on you guys right now. Alcorn on the bubble. They win this game. This could be a power ranking top 5 game. The winner of this game will probably be in my top 5. How about that?
Right. Southern taking over 1st and 10 from their own 13 and trying to find some room along the left side.
Can you? We've been doing this for a while here. When's the last time you see me had Grambling ranked 4 at HBCU?
I can't ever remember it.
Been a long time. And I know Coach Fobbs, they lost a lot of star power. They lost Carter. They lost Kincaid, quarterback. I think that's what's really hurt them, not having Kincaid there. But they got to get it together. They have not looked good so far this year.
Kevin Ben off the near side on that first down run and on the swing pass. He made a great effort to make the catch, but couldn't keep his balance afterward and went down, so he'll lose a little bit more after the pass completion. So it'll set up 3rd and long for Southern, which after that loss of 6 finds itself in a little bit of a pickle on their own 6.
And as the rain continues to become a factor, it's creeping in. We're seeing a lot of drop balls and some slips. It becomes a battle of field position. Right now for Alcorn, important to get this stop here and give your offense the ball in pretty good field position.
A little draw play, and Ben just trying to get it out for some room for the punter. Gets it out to the 12, and that'll set up 4th down. He picked up 6. He got that 6 back that he lost on the little swing pass, and now 3 and out for the Alcorn State defense again, which came into tonight's game being at or near the top of the SWAC in just about every defensive category. And back deep to receive this punt, standing on his own 45-yard line, is LaShawn Ely. And Cesar Barajas is back in his own end zone, about 3 yards deep.
If I'm Ely, I'm not letting this ball hit the ground. Run up and catch it if you have to.
Stoppage.
Did Southern get a timeout in before the delay of game?
Looks like. Well, that was the preliminary signal, delay of game. But now they give the timeout. In fact, they might have given the timeout to Alcorn, to be honest, as Coach McNair bringing his special teams over to have a talk. No. Fred McNair, we talked about it. You might expect him to be a gunslinger type, as he certainly was that in his collegiate and AFL career, one of their all-time leading passers in AFL history. And he was the original Eric McNair, as you said earlier.
Yeah, he could throw it.
And the family tree, of course, Fred, 87 to 89. Of course, Steve, making a push for him to get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame right now.
College Football Hall of Fame.
College Football, I'm sorry. College Football Hall of Fame.
Yep. And then the rest of them, you have to have somebody catch the football. So you got all those quarterbacks in the family. The Denver McNairs were all quarterbacks. See, mistake. That's why I said I'm catching that ball no matter what. Run up, catch the ball, help out with field position. You shouldn't let that punt hit the ground.
And that Aussie-style kick, it doesn't give you a whole lot of room to react once it's in the air. We'll be back.
Plus, cool. I'm telling you, man, it's great.
Second quarter at A.W. Mumford Stadium, Baton Rouge, between Alcorn State and Southern. 53-yard punt from Barajas of Southern. And it puts Alcorn back on its own 35-yard line, and the McNair family tree still going. There's the head coach's nephew on the sideline.
Tim McNair. Tim's dad played wide receiver down at the cone, as they call it sometimes.
And on the option play, and they get it out to Simmons, who has room. Simmons inside the 40. And a nicely developed play that time.
Nice mesh. Options are about the timing. Look at the distance between the quarterback and the running back. In space, don't be in a hurry. They recognize who they're going to option off of, get them to come to you, then pitch the ball. That's how you run the option.
And that is a nice left-handed catch by P.J. Simmons, who picks up 27 yards after corralling that one in with the left hand. And Deshaun Waller on the run play off to the far side. No gain on that first down play, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Deshaun Waller is a 5'11", 210-pound junior out of Atlanta.
What I would do, I'd show them the option again until they show me they know how to stop it. Because that seemed like fundamentally something was wrong on that option defense.
Johnson escapes the rush again, going down the far side. And looked like he might have gotten away with a little push-off with P.J. Simmons that time, but
recurring theme, though. Johnson drops back to pass. Johnson gets flushed out the pocket. They are doing a great job getting him off his spot. They've got to shore up that offensive line play and allow Noah Johnson to at least have a pocket. 6-foot quarterback without a pocket, that's tough.
And we know he can hurt you with his feet, but when you got him moving off his spot and running for his life, that's the position, if you're a defense, that you want a dangerous quarterback like Noah Johnson to be in. Now, some more confusion, so they're going to take a timeout and talk it over. Alcorn, new offensive coordinator, Ryan Stanchek, this season. Really confident in the maturation of Noah Johnson and this offense, and all seeming to come together, but they all told us he has to take a next step up in this game.
I mean, Johnson's got to be the guy, because they lost DeLance Turner. DeLance Turner's now playing in the NFL, one of the best runners in the history of the SWAC, let alone Alcorn State. So they've been going with running back by committee, but they've been putting more on the plate of Noah Johnson, getting him more involved in the running game. And the offense has been effective coming into tonight's contest, averaging 40 points a game, but right now struggling with this up for the challenge Southern Jaguar defense.
3 of 6 on 3rd down are the Braves of Alcorn State. Empty backfield for Noah Johnson. Quarterback draw, and he has nowhere to go. No gain on that play as he is upended inside by Jaron Johnson.
Yeah, they're too quick for him. They're too quick for him. Jaron Johnson's a 235-pound defensive lineman, but they're just using speed. So the Alcorn offensive line is big. The Southern defensive line is fast. They're beating them with speed to the point, and they're having problems even on quarterback draws protecting their quarterback.
Demario Houston standing back at his own 10-yard line for the Corey McCullough line drive punt. And they save that one. Oh, but the second gunner down touched it while he stood in the end zone. That's a touchback. 38-yard punt. But it'll be a touchback, so it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
They needed a 37-yard punt. That's a couple times tonight we've seen Alcorn punt team kick the ball into the end zone. That's a line drive. This is almost a great play. And had his teammate just gotten out of the way, the ball would have been down there on the half-yard line.
I think it was Calvante Key who was the first initial volleyballer, if you will, down in the end zone. But now Southern with it. And on the handoff straight up the middle, and just nothing but a pile of bodies out there. I think Devin Ben or Jamarqueza Mims might have actually lost a yard or so on the first down play.
You see it's starting to come down pretty good, so now's the time you have to have extra ball security. Running backs hold on to it with 2 hands. QBs you tend to lose accuracy, and it's coming down pretty good.
Second down. On the roll, throwing on the far side of the field, out of bounds and incomplete, as he was looking for Trey Smith. And there you get a look at the rain coming down, and it is coming down hard. here at A.W. Mumford Stadium in Baton Rouge.
And let me give credit where credit's due. I called like I see it. I said the fans were leaving when it first came down. Well, they all went to get ponchos, and they're back in the building. We got a packed house here.
2 of 6 so far on third down plays for Southern.
And coverage about to blitz him.
And here's Ladarius Skelton in at quarterback, and he throws the out pattern, but mistimed with his intended receiver. He threw it a little inside when his receiver went out. Trey Smith was his intended receiver on the play. And John Lampley, forgive us here up in the booth, very difficult with these light gold numbers trimmed in white to sometimes tell who's who out there. And it was John Lampley who attempted connection with Trey Smith as wide receiver on the far side.
And we saw them connect on that pass play earlier, but because of the conditions, a little bit more of an inaccurate throw.
Barajas and the sun is muffed. And I think Southern has it. They do. Another thing the rain might have a hand in creating there. The muffed punt. And a big turnover in the game as they signal that Southern University has it on the recovery.
That'll wake up the human jukebox.
Second turnover of the game against Alcorn. There's Ely who loses it.
How close is this defender? He's waving fair catch. I'm almost wondering, did that defender touch him on the way by?
So the turnover creates great field position, and on the jet sweep, and now the reverse. Finding a little room and getting it inside the 45 to the 41-yard line was Kendall Catalan. Pick up a 5.
And offensive coordinator Chinnis Berry trying to go a little razzle-dazzle. Hasn't been able to get much from his offensive unit, so try and go with a little jet sweep reverse. And got it to one of the three amigos, Catalan, but good job by Alcorn staying home, making the tackle. It's a free play here.
That one deflected 2 or 3 times and almost caught one-handed right down the middle. And the intended receiver, or the one who finally wound up almost grabbing it one-handed, was Dennis Craig, a fifth-year senior tight end out of Baton Rouge. So a free play because of offside on the defense.
But it's also because of the elements and it's raining. That's why this ball's tipped. You can't get a good grasp. So ball's tipped there. Normally you get it with the gloves out there. With these new gloves these kids have today, the glove holds onto the ball for you. It's raining a little bit slippery, so you got to really grab that ball with 2 hands.
So coming off the best starting field position of the game after the muffed punt, Southern threatening the ball at the 36-yard line of Alcorn, and we got a whistle. And a flag on the play. And a false start against the Jaguars.
Only because I know my Southern fans care. But currently, Prairie View A&M 22, Grambling 9, fourth quarter. I asked Coach Owens before the game, you know the score of the game? He knew exactly what the score of the game was before his game. They keep an eye on those G-men.
And met immediately on the handoff that time, and that was Terry Whittington, the first to meet Devon Ben. And Ben didn't get much. No gain on the play.
And when I saw Southern, the tape of them playing Alabama A&M, their offensive line was really good, sound. And Barry Coach Barry is going to keep a great scheme schematically for his offensive line, but I'm just giving credit to Alcorn. They just seem more talented with their defensive line than Southern's offensive line right now.
Barry says the offensive line, the strength of this unit, stepping up in the pocket, and that one almost intercepted as Lampley was looking for a receiver down the middle, and stepping in front to almost pick that one off was LaShawn Ely.
Ely trying to make up for that muff punt, which allowed Southern to keep the football. A third down here, you wonder what do you do here in terms of defensively. If you're Cedric Thornton from Alcorn State, do you pressure the quarterback or do you have the faith in your front four? Going with 3rd and 15, I'm going to let the front four go on and try and play one over the top coverage.
This is Southern's 28th play. They only have 47 total yards and hit from behind, forcing the overthrow. So a lot of pressure from the backside of quarterback John Lampley creates another incompletion.
Yeah, because if Lampley's able to complete that ball, the running back, the receiver had a lot of room in front of him to run. See, he doesn't quite sense it. You know, young quarterbacks, he'll start to sense it. Once you clear it, somebody's coming, but there's plenty of daylight in front of Ben. I'm pretty sure he would have picked up the first down.
Myshawn Smith, number 91, coming in from behind. Lampley 4 straight incompletions now in this one, and the Alcorn defense looking pretty tough as their conference rankings would suggest coming into this one. Cesar Baraja sends it into the end zone. It'll be a touchback and come out to the 20-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot of interesting stuff after the 41-yard punt. Alcorn takes over. We're still scoreless.
Sports.
Whoa, the GOAT of ball boys right there.
I guess there's a GOAT for everything now.
Our Week 4 Monday Night Football matchup is an AFC West battle. Patrick Mahomes, boy, is he on fire. High-flying 3-0 Chiefs will be in the Mile High City to take on Von Miller and the Broncos. 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on ESPN. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Monday Night Countdown is served up by Applebee's and the Human Jukebox. Jamming as we take a break here, homecoming weekend.
I don't care what the rankings say. That's a top 5 band. Dancing Dolls are our top 2 always. It's the whole performance aspect of it that you have to do. But I'm looking forward to halftime. Hey, Alcorn traveled well down here, and they brought the band, so it's going to be interesting.
They brought the sounds of dynamite. So on first down, the Braves take over at their own 20. And on the sweep near side, and P.J. Simmons gets the corner, and Simmons is forced out of bounds at the 24.
I'd like to see Alcorn go back to those wide receiver bubble screens they had. I'm not a big fan of horizontal passes, but they have these long bodies out there. They were getting some pretty good yards off those quick passes.
Noah Johnson is 72 yards passing and 9 completions to 6 different receivers, but we're still scoreless. Now on the quick slant, some room after the catch, across midfield, inside the 40-yard line. And a very big gain on that quick slant pattern by Chris Blair, 36 yards.
And you see Blair, the junior college transfer, they like what he brings to the table. Big guy, moves well. You see him finish off the run. You know what I like about him? First year of the program, already a captain. They say he's such a great person, great work ethic. They found a diamond in the rough in him.
Simmons off the left side, has some room inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line, and give him about 13 on that one. Well, now opening up some holes against this Southern defense are the Braves of Alcorn State, and moving it smartly downfield as we get to the final 3.5 minutes here of the first half. Three plays, 53 yards so far on this march. And we talk about Johnson's accuracy earlier. Most of his passes tonight, even in the rain, have been pretty accurate. And here's Simmons. Lost his footing a little bit trying to make a cut. but still pretty good yardage on first down.
A little bit slippery. You see him there going off a little gimpy. Went a little awkward trying to stop, and it looked like the turf skid, but then gripped it at the same time. We'll see if he comes back to his football game.
And you Alcorn State fans who are very familiar with your team, Mike, recognize that their top receiver, Radarius Anderson, number 81, high ankle sprain. He was a game-time decision. They decided to sit him in this one. And now off the bench is the backup running back, Deshaun Waller. And Waller comes in and has a big hole off the left side. He picks up 9, move the chains again.
Yeah, another community college transfer who they're very excited about. And you saw right there, he's got a quick burst. 5'11" junior from the ATL.
Alcorn get down towards 2 minutes, trying to break through and get on the scoreboard first. Here's Waller again. Some nice nifty moves inside. Avoids contact and goes down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Give him 3.
What you want to avoid here is just the negative play. If you only pick up 2 or 3, that's fine. Keep it going forward, but a negative play puts you behind the chains.
Just how tough is it to handle a wet football in the rain as we approach the 7th play of this drive?
If you're not used to it, it can disrupt you. You have to make sure you hold it firmly with 2 hands most of the things that you do.
Option again. This time Waller doesn't have a lot of room on the short side of the field. He's pushed out by Montavious Gaines, and he might have picked up 1.
Throwing the football, you can do it, but the ball gets heavy, so it doesn't travel as far, so you don't get as much zip on it.
I bet you like to throw rain, shine, snow, whatever. You
I had to learn how.
Okay.
I never played a game in the rain until I got to college.
Okay.
And it was not good.
Yeah, that's right. Growing up in California, it didn't rain a whole lot.
Ask the Howard folks. It wasn't pretty, but I made up for it afterwards, and I learned how to throw in the rain.
And now running onto the field, calling timeout is the Southern sideline, and Coach literally ran out there to get the attention, Coach Odoms. Timeout here. So timeout on the field with 1:28 to go and a big 3rd down and 7 play for Alcorn. And now time to talk a little band rankings.
Get ready for halftime down here,
yes,
right?
sir.
We're going to see it. So the undefeated, make sure we're clear.
Right.
It's not Jay's Give Me 5 band ranking.
And you have no input in this whatsoever.
No input. They don't
call Jay up and go, Jay, what do you think?
No.
Okay.
This is what they've come out with. They came out with the initial band rankings. Bethune-Cookman, I've been saying that for a while.
Yes,
the best band in the country. Jackson State, Tennessee State. Jackson State, the Sonic Boom of the South, like them. Good, really good. Whew, I don't know, but for me, I have a problem with number 6. Talk about the human jukebox number 6. I don't know about that. You got the legendary Florida A&M band ranked number 7. But I do think that number 4 on that list, the Mighty Marching Blue and Gold Machine out of A&T, most improved band I've seen. They're really good.
Okay.
But I don't think they're better than Southern. I'm just calling it like I see it.
I love them all, but Southern is awfully impressive to be ranked that low. We get a penalty, a little movement inside the interior of the Alcorn offensive line. So this really makes things interesting. It'll be 3rd now and 12 rather than 3rd and 7. So let's see what play they dial up from the playbook on this key play. Keep it up the middle, and bouncing it out to the left side is Marquise Foreman. And Foreman got it just inside the 10-yard line. Well, they'll try to get on the scoreboard here on 4th down with a field goal attempt by Corey McCullough. McCullough 3 for 3 on field goals this year. This will be his first attempt outside of 30 yards this year. All his 3 made field goals are from 20 to 29 yards. His long has been 22. And now his long is 32. It is good. So Corey McCullough puts Alcorn State on the scoreboard 3-0. 50 seconds to go in the first half.
High stakes and a playoff spot on the line.
A very lucky stupid old chair.
All right, 50 seconds to go here in the half, and Alcorn gets on the board first. Corey McCullough's 32-yard field goal capping a 9-play 66-yard march, taking up 4 minutes and 7 seconds of clock. And now McCullough is prepared to kick it off from the 35. And returning it to the far side, or the near side of the field, I should say, and met hard. On the return, where we'll see if Southern makes an effort. Christopher Cheney on that return. And Lampley, not a great first half, only 4 yards through the air. And the Alcorn defense, which is number 1 in the conference in scoring, rushing yards allowed, second in the conference in passing yards allowed, is looking pretty solid so far. So let's see what Lampley does. They're going to run it, and bouncing it outside is Ben, and Ben gets across the 30, close to first down yardage depending on the spot. Daylon Brooks is the one who finally brought him down. After the pickup of 9, he'll be a little short. No, they give him the first down. So the initial spot was a little bit short, but now they respot it.
It's homecoming, man. If it's close, they get it.
Well, they'll run it again. Not interested at all in a possible turnover here late in the half to give Alcorn a chance, especially with the way the offense has been going really in the first half. Alcorn State, you might want to know, will receive the second half kickoff.
That's one of those instances where if you have Austin Howard, your 4-year starter quarterback, less than a minute, you get a good run, you go for it, you step on the gas. But
off the play fake, going deep, and it's knocked away. Back there to defend, Javen Morrison knocked that one away from the intended receiver, Trey Smith. And that is the end of the first half. So 3-0. Alcorn State leading at the end of the half. We're going to watch some great bands perform and get ready for Gimme 5 at the break. We'll come back with more halftime.
Artificial intelligence helps us change the way we feed the world.
Oh my God, he juked every single guy in the field.
Halftime festivities continuing here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Alcorn State up over Southern 3-0 at the break. And right now, we take you down on the field to the sounds of dynamite, the Alcorn State Marching Band. All right, the sounds of dynamite. The Alcorn State Marching Band. The halftime festivities continue here from Baton Rouge in a moment.
In 2017, more than 2.
Every single guy in the field.
Back up in the booth along with Jay Walker, Eric Clemens. Halftime festivities continuing
Can I say something?
here. Yeah, go ahead.
Now that's a band.
Right.
Now that's a band.
The human jukebox.
Now that's a band. Now that's a band.
and I guess with a 3-0 here at the half, we just got a 32-yard field goal. A lot of interesting plays. We'll get to that stuff later. But now it's time. But I always enjoy this segment. In fact, coming over to the stadium today, 3 or 4 people said, "Hey, give me 5 guys." So it's that time.
So they want to take it over, but at the end of the day, to make it official, give me 5. All right, now, we talked about it a little bit, everything going on, and what the perfect time to give you the top 5 HBCU homecomings.
Oh, yeah.
It's homecoming week down here in Baton Rouge. They think it's the best, but I've seen them all, so let's talk about it.
Okay.
Number 5, go to Tallahassee, but I got to make this disclaimer first. The MEAC is a homecoming conference.
Okay.
The SWAC is a tailgating conference.
Okay.
So you'll see it play out. Number 5, Florida A&M, down in Tallahassee. March 100, all they do, tough place to play. They know how to homecoming down there. Number 4, we're at number 4. Down here at Southern University in Baton Rouge. Great job. We saw it. It was packed out there today. It took us an hour and a half to get in. A lot of people, festive atmosphere. Southern's number 4. Number 3, I want to go down to where they ball and parlay. They call that the Tuskegee way. Down there in the chicken coop, they got the shed, the home field advantage, one of the best homecomings you've probably never been heard of. Take my word on it.
Okay.
What do you think of produced? You've been there. G-Ho. North Carolina
homecoming on earth.
They call it that. Just because they call it that doesn't mean that it is.
Right.
But they call it the G-Ho. Greatest homecoming on earth. Tell you how big it is this year. You know what they got for their concert? 2 Chainz and Cardi B.
Wow.
They get it done. A&T does it. But when it comes to homecoming, nobody does it like the Mecca. Howard University. Come on now. We do it all from. Listen to me, folks. If you've been to Howard University homecoming football game, but you haven't been to Yard Fest on Friday, then you've never been to Howard University homecoming. Friday Yard Fest is when we do the free concert where you see Drake, all the star power, Taraji Henson, Anthony Anderson, everybody just walking around mixing and mingling. That's how we homecoming at Howard University. And on the bubble, y'all SWAC folks, I got Jackson State not quite making the list. They're on the bubble, but MEAC is a homecoming conference. SWAC's a tailgate conference. Those are the top HBCU homecoming.
You'll always be a Howard guy, but this is not necessarily just total prejudice. You ranking Howard up there. There's a lot of people that converge on the D.C. area
Everybody comes in, easy to get to, and the folks down in the AUC, I give them a hard time, but I'm like this. What school are you talking about? You can't call the Spell House class homecoming. What's Spell House? I know Morehouse, I know Spellman, but I'm not combining for schools. I think that's the list there. But if you want to talk about it, hit me up on my Twitter account. I'm open to you at JWalkerSky. Well, let's not forget, it's called Who's Give Me Five? Jay's Give Me Five.
Jay's Give Me Five. Yours, baby. All right. Halftime festivities continuing here at A.W. Mumford Stadium. Alcorn State leading by 3. Back with more in just a moment.
Yeah. Oh my God, he juked every single guy in the field.
Fox still entertaining the crowd here at A.W. Mumford Stadium. Alcorn State up by 3 over Southern 3-0 as the halftime festivities continue. Back here in the booth with Jay Walker, Eric Clemens. Well, had some interesting play in the first half. Not a whole lot of points scored, but we had a pretty entertaining ball game, if you will, even though it is 3-0.
I think both teams failed in their mission. They each came out and said, we want to control the line of scrimmage. We want to be able to run the football. Well, each team has shown they can stop the other from running the football, but offensively, the execution just hasn't been there.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights here in the first half. Alcorn State, their scoring drive is on the quick slant. And getting up for good yardage, 36 yards on that catch and run. And another good run this time off the left side, getting them closer to field goal range, and they get it. Corey McCullough putting in his longest field goal of the year, 32 yards. And now earlier in the game, Southern had its opportunity. This overthrow picked by Demarion Houston, and Houston brings it back, but they can't connect on the attempt in the end zone, and they miss their short field goal attempt. And so they are still not on the scoreboard. 3-0 in favor of Alcorn State at the half. And looking at the rushing yards and the Southern passing yards, that's what really stands out.
Total
4 yards.
Southern's got 59 yards total offense. They're only down by 3. They can still win this football game. So you have to think if you're Southern, you're fortunate to only be down by 3. This game is still very much in the balance. Who's going to get together and have the ability to rush the football? That will determine who's going to win this football game.
And with the conditions pretty wet down there, we'll see what develops here in the second half. We'll bring you that coming up after we take a short timeout.
Guy in the field.
Alcorn State, as we get set to start the third quarter, leading Southern 3-0. Look at the state capitol here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And a look at the Alcorn State sideline as Noah Johnson and company enjoy a 3-0 lead as we get ready to start the third quarter. So neither team has been able to establish much offensively here in this first half. On either side of the ball, what do they need to do in the second, Jim?
I think what they may do, you may see Felix Harper in the second half. The backup quarterback for Alcorn, no knock on Noah Johnson, but head coach McNair thought that Felix Harper may be a little bit quicker in the RPO game, the run-pass option game, and you want to spread out the offense. That may be an option of doing that just to kind of give them a change of pace look. But I think for Alcorn, it still comes down to no matter who the quarterback is, you have to protect him. He's been flushed out of the pocket all night.
Except for that one overthrow, the number is actually pretty decent in the first half for Noah Johnson. Dial Harris and Javen Morrison are back deep to receive this kick, which is a short one, fielded by Morrison, who gets across the 30 and across the 40-yard line. A short kick, but a nice long return of more than 20 yards. And Alcorn State in great shape to start the third quarter.
Yeah, that's how you make them pay. If they're going to kick a short line drive punt, field it cleanly, get upfield. The Braves start the second half off in great field position. The ball on the 42-yard line.
22 yards on that return by Javen Morrison. And now Noah Johnson and company coming out. Remember, we saw P.J. Simmons tweak a leg late in the first half trying to cut. And I do not see him out on the field right now, number 4. And given instead to the backup back, Marquise Foreman, and Foreman doesn't get much trying to go off the left side as Calvin Lunkins, the heart and soul of that defense, was there to make the stop. And we do have an update on the injury situation to P.J. Simmons. Here it is again. He's going to try to cut in the awkward plant with that. It looked like the right foot he's favoring.
I think that was one of those conditions, sloppy feel, a little bit wet. Not quite a slide, not trying to cut.
Johnson gonna keep and has a big hole, and Johnson gets it out down to the 40, inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That didn't look so great when the play first started, but he turned it into something very nice at 20 yards.
And it was a great decision by Noah Johnson. He ran the option, and he was going to pitch it, but he knew if I pitch this football, this is a tackle for a loss. They had somebody on the pitch man, kept it himself, stretched it out, picked up the first down. Great quarterback play by Noah Johnson with the decision making.
And you saw one of the reasons he came into the game as the leading rusher on his team by 5. Over his teammate, P.J. Simmons. Here's Noah Johnson again. Big hole. Johnson. Down inside the 5, all the way to the 1.
Great decision making again by Noah Johnson, getting involved in the running game. Surprised he didn't run so much in the first half. But here, pulls it, calls his own number, then watch the cut here to twist the defensive back up. That gets him an extra 18 yards almost into the end zone.
Now spotted at the 3-yard line. He picked up 36 on that run. Montavious Gaines was the last defender back there, saved a touchdown. So first and goal to go for Alcorn.
And this is when you play big boy football. Bring in the big linemen. You know that Southern's defensive line is smaller than yours. Nothing fancy. Power football straight up the middle. Try and move the pile.
And we have whistles before that play gets underway. So far in this drive, 3 plays, 55 yards for Noah Johnson and Alcorn.
Trying to figure out what was the stoppage for it. We don't see any penalties down on the field.
Officials giving Southern a chance to make substitutions because they brought the big team in for Alcorn. A lot of big beef up front.
They actually penalized Southern for we'll get some clarity on it, but I thought the ball was like on the 3-yard line. Now they moved it to the yard and a half.
Half the distance, yes.
Half the distance, but we haven't heard an official announcement yet.
Yeah, no penalty flag was down and no announcement was made by our referee, Eddie Kelly.
So probably it was a too many men on the field. 2 guys come on the field, 1 guy goes off. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12.
Yeah.
They got him there. So now, it wouldn't make sense to call a timeout now because you need to have those timeouts in the second half. So you'd rather take a penalty for a yard and a half, but it seems as if they've taken a timeout and as well as a penalty.
So too many men on the field against the defense. Somebody forgot to come off. First and goal. And high up and over the pile. Will they give it to Waller? They do. Touchdown. Alcorn State.
This is the conference of Walter Payton. When I think of going over the top, I think of sweetness. Walter Payton and Deshaun Waller gets good elevation. Nice surge from the offensive line. And you'll see Waller, he's up there, up and over. Cleared the pile for the score.
He took off from quite a way back there, too. I mean, he took off from about the 4. And launched himself over. Corey McCullough is going to come on to attempt the extra point. As Alcorn, very impressive on that drive, especially running the football with their quarterback, Noah Johnson. And they go up 9-0 right now after that impressive march to open the third. McCullough's extra point effort is good. So that makes it 10-0. Noah Johnson, the man, keeping it and eating up big chunks of yardage for Alcorn State to set up the touchdown. Alcorn up by 10.
Add bananas to my shopping list. Okay.
ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. We are here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, A.W. Mumford Stadium. Sounds of dynamite performing, Alcorn. And, of course, Waller with the belt after the 1-yard dive, and more like a 4-yard dive. Up and over the pile, completes a 4-play, 58-yard march. And Noah Johnson with a lot of good yardage on the quarterback keepers as well, especially that 1 for 36. Short kickoff this time on the far side. And breaking through the hole. One man to beat. And he is brought down from behind to save a touchdown and maybe save some momentum.
Did Southern not see what happened to Alcorn?
Christopher Chaney is the one who picked that one up on the bounce and took off.
Yeah, short poo punch, make him pay. Catch the ball, become a receiver, and get upfield in a hurry. Good job by Chaney.
Is it Chaney or Robert Rim? I'm looking 29. Robert Rim. No, that's Chaney. That's Chaney. You're correct.
Good job. He gives the Jaguars excellent field position. Ball. Best field position for Southern University for the night, and they come out in completion. Now, we saw the adjustment Alcorn made, getting the QB involved in the running game. What's going to be the adjustment that Southern's going to make offensively? Are they going to come out and just throw the football, realizing they're not having success running the football?
There's Terry Whittington in the face of John Lampley. Here's Lampley on second down. Has to step up, going down, but he gets it away. And scrapes through there and gets inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
What a move by Ben. Just a little check down pass here. Realizes there's nowhere to go outside. So watch him give a jab step, cut back to the inside, run the color. Good runners run the color. He knew there were blue jerseys to his right, white jerseys to his left, went hard to the right.
Ben picked up 9 on that play. Big third down and short. And Ben will not get it.
That is what you cannot do in that situation. You're thinking if you don't get it and it's 4th and 1, you may go for it. But with a negative play, tackle for loss, I think you force the coach's hand and you have to kick the field goal now.
B.J. Hollis was there. And B.J., the linebacker, 6 foot, 195 junior out of Monroe. And this will be a 28-yard field goal attempt. That's a huge stop on 3rd and less than a yard. So Martel Fontenot is going to attempt this one from 28. And Fontenot nails it. It is good. So Southern, after the 60-yard kickoff return, gets on the scoreboard for the first time to make it a one-possession game at 10-3 with 11-11 to go in the third.
That's a disappointing 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the great return for the kickoff return team. You had the great play by Ben to pick up 9 yards. You needed 1 yard to keep the drive alive, and they get a negative play and have to settle for 3 points on the scoreboard with the field goal try. You have to do better than that. You're in the trail position. You have to put touchdowns on the board, not field goal attempts.
Homecoming, you don't get too emotional there and go for it on 4th down?
Well, I thought it had been 4th and 1 they would have. But when he lost yards, 4th and 3, you can't do it. Missed opportunity. And what you have to do, you talk about it being homecoming, you got to score touchdowns on homecoming. This homecoming, Everybody's watching. People that don't even follow the team, they're watching this homecoming game. Right now, the people watching are saying Southern has a problem offensively. Mistake.
And Javen Morrison still fighting for yardage across the 15. Momentum after fielding the bouncing kick carried him into the end zone where he should have stayed.
Should have stayed there and gotten 25 yards. The ball spotted on the 25-yard line. He elects to bring it out, and now they hit the ball on the 15-yard line.
And we got flags on the field, a little extracurricular activity there as Morrison was fighting for more yards, and we'll see how they sort it all out. There's a flag down at the 14-yard line on the far hash. Our referee is Eddie Kelly.
Personal foul definitely was a penalty after the play was over with, so some extracurricular activity with some talking, but it all compounded because the return man just didn't take a knee.
We go at the end of the play, still fighting for yards. And Javen Morrison is the one who took some issue with being spun down to the ground like that. And he didn't hit anybody, so the flag was definitely for some words that came out of his mouth. So Noah Johnson going deep, near side.
Oh, what a throw. You have to make that catch. That ball was thrown on the money.
Deyal Harris reached out with one hand, and he's kind of gimpy as he limps off the field.
As a quarterback, I appreciate a great throw. Ball on the far left hash. He throws this ball outside shoulder, 48 yards down the field. That's perfect placement. You don't go for that ball with one hand. You have to put two hands out there, go to the ground.
And Demario Houston is being attended to down on his own 44-yard line, being helped up. Might have cramped up a little bit, but wow, that ball was in the air for quite a while. That's a strong throw from Noah Johnson.
Nice throw, far hash line. That ball traveled about 60 yards in the air with accuracy. Just wish that his receiver could have helped him out with the catch.
So it's 2nd down and 10 after the long incompletion, and they attended to Demario Houston, who walks off under his own power. And down the seam, and will be right at the first down sticks. Chris Blair, his favorite target so far tonight, picks up 10. Remember, Rodarius Anderson, their leading receiver, was a game-time scratch because of a high ankle sprain.
We may see Alcorn start to take advantage of the throwing game with Demario Houston leaving the game, forces Southern to play a lot more zone coverage. So if you can anticipate where the crease is going to be in zone coverage, that helps. But it also gives you an edge in the running game as well.
Johnson will keep it. Nice spin move out up close to the 30-yard line. Give him the 31. And that's another first down. And he has looked impressive here in the second half running the football.
Yeah, he got away with one there. Was a little bit indecisive in the run-pass option. Wasn't on the same page with his receiver. But he was so athletic, able to recover from his mistake and pick up a first down.
So they move the sticks once again. First down yardage out at the 31. Give goes inside, and breaking into the secondary is Waller. And Waller gets up close to midfield at the 49-yard line. Move the chains once again after that nice run.
Yeah, run behind Mustafa Ibrahim, number 76, the center. The best lineman they've got on the squad, number 76, coming right up there. He's going to find you a seal. You just find that crease afterwards. He got there on the second step. Nice vision by Waller. Good running in between the tackles by the Braves offensive line.
Sean Waller taking on some of the load with the first half injury to P.J. Simmons. Here's the jet sweep. Deyal Harris trying to get the far corner and didn't get much. Only give him one on that game. Elijah Small was the guy who took him out of bounds on the far side. And stepping inside, a big hole up the middle. A nice step to the inside that time by Marquise Foreman. And Foreman found himself with a lot of real estate and moved the chains once again, as now big holes being opened in that defensive line of Southern University. 15 yards on that game.
And you have to keep up with the personnel in the backfield now. With Simmons out, they bring Foreman in. He's a scat back, more of a zone type guy. So they're going to run him on the edge and try and get him more open space.
Off the play fake. Little floater is intercepted. What an effort.
Wow, what a great play. Recognizing that there was a screen pass being attempted. You'll see a good job, great elevation.
That looks like Jacoby Papillon getting the pick. Alcorn with his third turnover of the game, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, but that is an outstanding athletic play by Jacoby Papillon, a 5'10", 180-pound sophomore out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. And again, Southern with an opportunity to do something down a possession. There's Ben standing up behind his blockers trying to pick a hole, but there is nothing there, and he is slammed out of bounds hard. Brady Smith is the one who rocked him for a loss of a yard.
The Ben showing patience there, but he took a lick on that sideline. Oh, they're showing good patience, but
play fake, and that went off the hands of the intended target.
Incomplete.
That was Austin Opara.
Brings up 3rd and 11.
One of the reserve tight ends in the lineup. 6'2", 245-pound senior. And now big 3rd down and long at the 40. Lampley running out of room, got hit by his own man, and now just throws it away. So a great opportunity after the big interception, and they do nothing with it. They'll be forced to punt.
And just not seeing any signs of life from this offense. This offense is flat. I mean, they haven't been able to run the ball well. They haven't been able to pass the ball well. There's nothing that you could say this offense is getting better at in this football game. And that's not good news for the homecoming fans here in Baton Rouge.
Southern 37 plays, only 65 yards of offense. And there's a fake. The up snap, and then that will be an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
Because he shoveled it forward.
That's a
and so that's an incomplete pass. They try a little trickery from punt formation, and that's just going to go down as incomplete and now give Alcorn excellent field position at the Southern 40.
And the play had some hope if you catch it.
So he's waving that off. Incomplete is okay. Incomplete and a simple change of possession on downs.
At that call, I'm not mad at the call because the offense has been flat. You're trying to give them a jump start. So they're going to go. This is supposed to be an option, but they lose the mesh point, and it becomes a forward pass instead of an option pass. They can't hold on to that. And it's just one of those nights for Southern University where they're going to go back, look at film, and just say, we couldn't do anything right tonight. Now, I give credit to the pressure applied by the Alcorn State defense.
I believe Jamar Washington was the up man who caught that one and then tried to shovel it ahead. It looked like to a big lineman type person. Of course, they don't generally have the best hands in the world, and he couldn't even react to that one. This is Alcorn's best starting field position after the turnover.
Let's think about this.
On
the
downs.
Defense came up with a big play, give him some momentum, got him into the crowd, got the crowd into it, and then 2 minutes later they're back on the field. That becomes a little bit demoralizing. Let's see if this Southern defense can make one more stop.
Noah Johnson has been the best weapon for Alcorn, but this time he gives it to Marquise Foreman, and Foreman off the left side gets it out inside the 40 to about the 37, give him 3 on first down.
I like Foreman's one of those edge of your chair type guys. Every time he gets a football, you just kind of want to sit a little bit more on your edge of your chair because you feel something special can happen. Not a big guy, but an exciting runner.
Noah Johnson on another one of those run pass options you talked about. He decided to keep it, and I don't think he got anything out of it.
Yeah, but he makes good decisions. That was great defense played by Southern. That normally would have been a tackle for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. But he held on to it and said, I'll stretch it out, and I'll stretch it out, and it's just going to become a flat play, not a negative play.
Actually, he did lose a yard, so it's 3rd and 8. And again, with their best field position of the game, let's see what Fred McNair, Ryan Stanchek and company dial up on 3rd and long. Johnson over the middle, and the completion is there, but it's an immediate hit on Marquise Foreman. Will they call it a catch? They do. They call him down by contact after a pickup of 4 to the 34-yard line.
And they may go for it here. Not in field goal range. You know, you punt the ball into the end zone, you gain about 15 yards. So
I think it's a good calculated risk here.
Yeah, and that's the key. By them picking up positive yardage on that play, you put yourself in a position to go for it on 4th down.
And for some reason, they stopped play on the field. And now the last play is under review. I guess they're going to see if Marquise Foreman held on to the football.
It looks like he has it, and then the ground causes the fumble.
And Alcorn was ready to go. They were ready to get back up to the line of scrimmage and run that next play, possibly because they didn't want to review. Let's see.
I think he's got this ball. Starts to move.
And
no catch. Yeah, I think you take away the catch.
I think he maintained control of that ball through the catch.
We saw the ball start to move as he was going towards the ground.
Calvin Lunkins delivered that big hit.
Yeah, I think this is big because if they call it no catch, then I think Alcorn has to punt the football. So it looks like they're saying he completed the catch.
Okay. We did see the ball come loose a little bit in his arm shortly after he made the catch, but from our angle we could not see what happened on that side of the field as he went to the ground. But the officials say they saw enough to give him a catch. Alcorn 1 for 1 on 4th down this season, and this will be a 4th down and 4. Of the defense, and he will be stopped short. Calvin Lunkins, that heart and soul of the Southern defense, there once again for the stop on 4th down.
Trying to do a little quick kick trap play. Great recognition by Southern University, and it keeps
to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
On ESPN, you can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. So your Dodgers, my Cubs, still battling things out. I don't know if it'll make a difference in the American League. So
my Nationals
now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not keeping up with it now. I lost my team. Got to keep Bryce Harper though.
Lampley flushed out of the pocket and just throws that one away. And that'll set up second down.
It's just not there offensively. It's not there, and when it's not going downfield, then you got to come up with some stuff. I thought they would come out creative, like the reverse plays and maybe get some screen plays, but they haven't shown they have the ability to get a long drive or get explosive plays. So I go to some basic plays, maybe get some timing or some misdirection routes.
Here's Lampley rolling out near side, and he's going to keep it and not get much as he's finally drugged down. Solomon Muhammad, the outstanding Mike Backer for that Alcorn State defense, was Johnny on the spot to drag him down. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10. Both teams, of course, failing on 4th down in their subsequent drives, and with great field position, failing to capitalize the last time they had the football. Now Lampley only 4 of 17 passing for 13 yards. Stepping up in the pocket here, running out of top it. And it's a pick 6. Quinterio Cole. 34 yards on the interception return, and Alcorn is now up 16-3.
He's going to second guess his decision and tries to go across his body late. Lost some accuracy, and great job by Quinterio Cole. Recognize that he's trying to step up and throw at the same time, then he gets hit. And that's how you seal the deal by Cole. Goes in untouched into the end zone for the pick 6. Give the assist to the defensive line, applying the pressure.
Corey McCullough puts it right through. And now the Braves of Alcorn State, thanks to the pick 6, go up by 14 as they celebrate the interception return for the touchdown.
That's a tech van. Really, what's happening?
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
34-yard interception return, an extra point. Alcorn State up 17-3. 4:14 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So far, a big spoiler to the Southern University homecoming 2018. And Quinterio Cole on the kickoff coverage team is the man of the moment, stepping in front, and nothing that a defensive back dreams about more than having green in front of you when you pick off the football.
Nice pick 6, and slowly but surely the folks from Alcorn are trying to make this their homecoming.
Another one of these short kicks will be fielded at the 25. And remember the last time we had a 60-yard return over there.
Let's go back to the interception by Quinterio Cole. He's coming from his safety position, so this is Cole right here, all the way in the back of the coverage. His job, read the quarterback's eyes. Read the quarterback's eyes. Read the quarterback's eyes. Gotcha. Pick 6, daylight, strike up the band for the visiting team. Good job. That's how you play that free safety position. And what you have to know as a quarterback, you have to see him when he gets close to the line of scrimmage. You're like free safety, he's that close to the line of scrimmage, the middle of the field, deep balls open. Attack him.
Glendon McDaniel now in at quarterback for Southern, and he's blitzed immediately, and down he goes immediately. Solomon Muhammad coming from that Mike Backer position.
Welcome. Welcome to the game. The first play from scrimmage that Southern ran, they blitzed Solomon Muhammad. First on John Lampley. Will they bring in a backup quarterback? They're going to blitz Muhammad right away, too. You're going to get the same rude awakening that John Lampley got in this football game.
Muhammad came into the game with 2 quarterback sacks. Alcorn's first sack of the game, give him 3 for the season. He leads the team. And Glendon McDaniel, a 6'2", 200-pound sophomore out of Dothan High School, Dothan, Alabama. Now the little screen to the far side and some nice running room. And getting out close to first down yardage is Ben Devin Benn catching that pass. Quinterio Cole brought him down.
I don't want to pat my own back, but I feel unfair. When Lampley was in there, I said you need to run some screen passes, maybe get him in space. They bring in the backup and they give him the screen pass. But I like the play call there by Chennis Berry. That's what you do. Get these running backs in space. Your wide receivers aren't winning the one-on-one battle, so get it to your skill position guys in the backfield.
17 yards on the catch and run pass, and there is Ben off the far side. Almost keeps his feet. Didn't have much defenders in his way if he'd been able to keep his feet, but the one who tripped him up was Quinterio Cole, but not until after he got the first down yardage across midfield to the 49.
That's a unique name right there, Quinterio.
Quinterio. 10 yards for Devin Benn on that carry. On first down, getting inside the 45-yard line of the 44. Ben once again. And he's brought down by Isaiah Thomas. Ben 19 carries for 57 yards so far in the contest. On 2nd and 5, almost fumbled the exchange with his new quarterback. And Ben going off the left side will be about 2 yards short of the first down.
This is what happens when you get a new quarterback into the game. The exchange not quite as clean. You've been taking snaps all week from John Lampley, and then they bring in Glendon McDaniel. Southern University fortunate to maintain possession of the football.
Ben stacked up as he danced to his right. I don't know where they'll spot it. It looks like it'll be for no gain. An official standing right there at the third down stick, Terry Whittington, the defensive end, 6'5", 234, was there. And so now another big fourth down play.
Well, this is what I don't like. It's tough. Whittington, their starting defensive end, has to leave the game because his helmet came off in a crucial 4th and 2 situation where you need your starting defensive lineman on the field. I'd attack his backup.
0 for 1 so far. Southern on 4th down. This is a big one. Blitzed again, and he had to get rid of that in a hurry. He had an open receiver out there, but under tremendous pressure, he just threw it behind him. Solomon Muhammad was the one on the blitz again.
Yeah, Muhammad, he'll get there in a hurry. I mean, he's fast. We talk about him being an NFL talent. He's able to get up to the backfield in a hurry. You see him by the time he recognizes he's got to let that football go. Might have had a half second more time, but you have to complete that pass.
Carlos Stevens was his intended receiver, so another failed 4th down play. And Alcorn with more excellent field position at its own 41-yard line as we are in the final 32 seconds here in the third quarter, and the Braves up by a couple of scores. Coming on the near side that time is Marquise Foreman, picked up 3.
That was a fantastic play by Foreman. This is how you run down the line of scrimmage. Watch the pursuit angle from in here. Once the running back breaks outside, look at him. Run down the line. Don't give up. You had a bad angle, but you end up gaining on him. That's Calvin Lunkins, number 52, flying down the line, making that tackle there. And they say he's the guy that does it for him. The gym rat comes to work every day. He came to work on that last play, and I saw you, called you out.
Alcorn comes alive on offense and on defense, converting touchdowns in the third quarter. The lead 17-3 as we get ready for the fourth. Waller up and over from the 1. And then Quinterio Cole on the interception. 17-3 Alcorn after 3.
It's what I need. Make it what you
want. Let's take a look at tonight's Bringing You the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's.
Go Southern!
That looks good right there.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that's unique about the homecoming here, I always say, they don't do a lot of grilling. They do a lot of stewing. They're going to boil them crab balls and their crawfish. You give them a pot of water around here, they're going to make something taste good.
I'm still looking for some gator.
Yeah.
You see any in your resident? Oysters on the Have you ever had grilled oysters?
No.
Wow. You got it. You got to try those. Believe me.
I think they would mess around, put you in a pot, and put some rice on you. That makes you taste pretty good.
I got a little bit too much fat.
Down here, you're going to get the gator, you're going to get the boudin and all that stuff there. And like I say, the stadium smells different. We go to games all over the country. Like when we go to Birmingham, everything's on fire. They're grilling everything. But here, like I said, they're stirring the jambalaya.
It's very true.
They're stewing stuff.
You don't smell anything until somebody opens a big pot. On third down here off the play fake and the nice pass on the slant, and his receiver is wide open as he finds Dale Harris, who was covered by Small, but not until that one looked almost too easy to complete for a 15-yard gain and a first down.
When you're going to have receivers that are 6'2", 6'3", they have the advantage of running those slant routes because they can body up and keep the defensive back on their backside, so it's a nice big target. Noah Johnson recognized a slot blitz was coming from his left side. He stayed cool under pressure and delivered a strike to Harris.
This is Waller cutting it back, and Waller picking up good yardage down to the 30-yard line before Tyron Nash brought him down, picked up 8 on that one. And Alcorn in the third quarter ran for 106 yards to Southern University's only 7. And the good runs continue here early in the fourth.
I mean, Alcorn, 300 yards total offense through 3 quarters. Southern, less than 100, 92 yards. On your homecoming, too. This is going to sting. And if they don't get it together, this will sting.
Big hole off the far side, that time by Marquise Foreman. And Foreman easily picks up first down yardage and then some as they'll move the chains. And it's a 12-yard gain, so it'll be 1st and 10. Braves from the 18-yard line.
That's a scat back.
They are one of the only teams in the country, at least coming into this game, that were perfect inside the red zone, coming in 17 of 17 when they got it inside the 20-yard line. I have to think officially about how many times they've had it inside the 20 tonight, but this is one of them. 1st and 10. And this is Foreman. And Foreman took that one down inside the 15 to the 13 before Jacoby Papillon brought him down.
And that's good what they're doing. They're putting the fullback in there because Foreman's the smallest running back they have on the roster. So you give him some muscle in the backfield to help him out in the form of number 47. So normally when I say everybody watching college football games, if you follow the fullback, you can find the football for those power teams. So they can line up the running back to the right, but if the fullback's on the left, good chance that ball's going to the left if they decide to run it.
Fullback Trey Turner is in there, the 6-foot freshman out of Atmore, Alabama, on keeper. And what a move by Johnson. He gives himself a little more life, stays on his feet, and is out of bounds after a pickup of about 4.
Eric, so I said follow the fullback, right? So they set you up. Fullback starts off here, right? But he goes this way. So where's the ball going to go if my theory is right?
Right.
So
right
don't follow
him.
them. Follow fullback. They're going to your right. That's where they're going. If they show you the fullback on the left and they go right, they're going right. Follow the fullback and you'll find the ball most times.
And they're doing just what Coach Fred McNair would want, eating up a lot of clock, looking over the sideline, taking their sweet time up by 14. And a big 3rd and 1 here to try to keep this drive alive. Stepping inside, trying to fight for yardage. We'll see about the spot.
And that's a time where you maybe want to have a bigger running back in there. He was trying to get the forward lean, but Foreman weighs less than 180 pounds. I don't know if he got it.
Going to be a little bit short, so it'll be 4th and about a half yard.
They're not going with a bigger running back in there. Quarterback sneak.
And they get the sneak, and it gets some push from behind as well. And Southern tries to offer some resistance there, but from this angle, it looked like he clearly got first down yardage. Or inches, I should say. So it'll officially be 1st and goal as the clock continues to tick, and Noah Johnson has, for the most part this day, been pretty solid running and throwing the football.
Never gets rattled. Never gets rattled. You know, he doesn't have blazing speed, but he's not slow. Doesn't have a cannon, but he's not a soft, weak arm quarterback. And he's showing leadership. You know, this has not been an easy football game to play in when you had the rain in the first half, making it difficult to pass. But I thought it was nice when he came out to start the second half and got involved in the running game. And that was really the difference in this game when he started running the football, calling his own number.
11th play of the drive coming up. 2nd and goal. And 9 runs and 1 pass so far on this drive. And now we get whistles just at the snap. So Southern University takes a timeout. I guess they didn't like the way things were looking from a defensive perspective that time.
You know me, one of my pet peeve, clock management. If you're up by 14 points, you call that timeout.
Right.
When you're down by 14 points, if the clock is not your friend right now, I don't think you call the timeout. Unless you absolutely have to. They had a slot blitz call where they're going to blitz a quarterback from his backside. I just think it's one of those things where you may need that timeout. You know, in the second half, you have to really value those timeouts to stop the clock, to be your friend. Losing it on the defensive side of the ball, not really what you want to do.
And oftentimes we've seen enough football in our lifetimes to know that it usually comes back to bite you eventually when you mismanage those timeouts or don't use them at the most opportune moments.
Yeah, sometimes you're one timeout away from getting the ball back when the team's trying to run out the clock.
And this is 2nd and goal. And Noah Johnson on the keeper, and Johnson held on to by the waist for dear life by Lunkins, I believe.
And that was a great tackle by Calvin Lunkins in traffic because Johnson was about to kick into a second gear. And had that not been a textbook tackle by Lunkins to wrap him around the waist and not let go, that would have been
It's pretty amazing. Most of the time, a guy pulls away from you in that situation, but Lunkins held on for dear life, and you can see why he is the heart and soul of that defense. On 3rd down now, Alcorn is 4 for 11 on 3rd down attempts and conversions in tonight's game.
I think you throw it here to one of those big, tall wide receivers that you have.
And now whistles on the field and a timeout by Alcorn as they want to talk things over. Now, you said it, up by 14, you can take a timeout.
Absolutely, because we're trying to put the nail in the coffin with a touchdown scored here. So this is good use of a timeout. Make sure you get the proper play call, and you can have that luxury.
And some HBCU contests coming up in future weeks right here on the ESPN family of networks. That's a big one on the 20th of October.
Can we give the Southern fans, things aren't going their way tonight, but Grambling lost, so that'll always make Southern happy. But that's going to be a good one. Grambling will play themselves right back into this. And the Alabama State Mac City Classic, you heard me talk about it for years, the biggest HBCU event in the country. Central and Bethune-Cookman will be a good one as well. I think Bethune-Cookman's going to have something to say about the MEAC race. Although they lost to Howard last week, you'll hear from them.
12th play of the drive coming up. Johnson on the rollout, and he throws, and that one's deflected away as he was looking for Tavares Johnson in the end zone. And near on the near side here, the near boundary. And Papillon was the one who knocked it away, and so we're in a 4th down situation, and Corey McCullough will come on to attempt a 22-yard field goal. McCullough is perfect 4 for 4 on field goals, converting his long of the season from 32 yards in the first half. This one from 22, and that's a little more than an extra point. So Alcorn State doesn't get the 7, but they get 3, and they lead it 20-3 here in the 3rd.
Southern University 3.
Has no annual fees.
Really? Yeah.
We just don't believe in them.
Oh, nice. You would not believe how long I've been rehearsing that.
No annual fee on any card, only from Discover.
Juked every single guy in the field.
John Lampley and Southern University's Jaguar offense, 49 plays run tonight, only 92 yards, only 30 of them through the air. McDaniel in for 1 series.
And maybe they pulled Lampley just to calm him down a little bit, let him watch for a little while. He saw a series, and maybe he can come back in and slow things down a little bit.
Lampley throwing the quick swing pass out for Carlos Stevens, their home run threat. The 5'7", 190-pound sophomore out of Alabaster, Alabama. He can score anytime he touches it. They tried to swing it out to him, but inaccurate throw that time. Here's Lampley again going far side, and catch is made against good defense. That time Cameron Mackey was the one who made the catch on the far side.
Mackey, one of those wide receiver core they call the 3 amigos. 5'9", 185 pounds slot guy. But we haven't really called his name a lot. The amigos have kind of been shut down tonight.
Lampley stepping up in the pocket, fires, has a man over the middle, and losing his helmet. And we get a flag down immediately as Kendall Catalan lost his helmet. I didn't see anything that appeared too dirty from my angle, but the flags went down immediately.
It seemed like he was going down and his helmet got ripped off.
Yeah.
I think it was a face mask.
And it's saying ripped off because of the face mask.
That thing came off in a hurry.
Of course, I'm way up here and they're down there. Oh, there we are.
Yeah. Good call by the officials.
Almost a Statue of Liberty-like play and a fumble, and it is recovered, picked up by Brady Smith, who says, "Oh, I'll take the gift." And another turnover against Southern University.
How fitting is it for Brady Smith? This is one of the guys where Coach McNair said, proud to be a coach of a guy like Brady Smith. Smith, the first person in his family to ever get a college degree. And here in the right place at the right time, and gone through a tough season where he lost his grandmother before the opening game of the season versus Georgia Tech. And he played in that game because he said, Grandmama would have wanted me to play. To see him play on national television and come up with a fundable recovery for the first college graduate from his family, that's what college athletics is all about to me.
Carlos Stevens, the one that coughed it up. And off the far side is Marquise Foreman. And Foreman gets out across the 40 to the 43.
Got to give a shout out to DeLance Turner. You know, for so many years we talked about him being a great runner there. Well, I want to give him props for making the 53-man roster for the Baltimore Ravens. Undrafted free agent in 2017, rushed for over 1,300 yards, and now he's a member of the Ravens. I see a DeLance representing for HBCUs in the NFL.
Saw that 65-yard run he had in preseason, and was very happy to see that he made the practice squad and just called up as Johnson on the keeper, gets out to the 45. And then, of course, another HBCU star, Darius Leonard, leading the National Football League in tackles from the linebacker spot of the Indianapolis Colts.
Absolutely. We knew what he could do. Now the rest of the world is finding out. And I'll give a shout out to Danny Johnson as well. We saw him down here for homecoming. Had an off week. He's a member of the Washington Redskins roster as well. Undrafted out of here. Don't know how Danny Johnson wasn't drafted. He knew the skill set was there. But now he's playing for Washington football team.
And Waller is going to cross midfield down to the 49. And there's Danny Johnson being honored on the field. He's the guy in the Southern shirt there.
Danny right here.
Right there.
And then they did a little jersey swap there. That's Southern and Grambling. Chad Williams from Grambling fame is a member of the Arizona Cardinals. And Danny Johnson plays for the football team up in Washington, where Doug Williams is a general manager. So the SWAC trying to keep it going in the NFL.
And they keep the chains moving and the clock running. Not much for the Southern Jaguar Nation to cheer about so far in this one against a very, very tough Alcorn State defensive team.
I think right now the bands are fighting more than the football teams are. They're going at it right now. The Alcorn band is trying to take over, and the human jukebox said there will be none of that.
Every now and then the officials will have to calm them down a little bit because they start to play.
Why are you talking? That's my jam. I'm living the good life. You don't know that? Oh,
know the song, but
oh man, you talk right over it, man. You're killing me.
You know this one that they're playing? Since talking about talking over it. Going inside the 40 is Waller, and I think we had a face mask as he was going down, so they'll tack on some more yards to that one as multiple flags on it. This one, you know this one that's playing there?
That one, yeah, I've been pretty hip to him.
Little Herbie Hancock, little Chameleon.
Okay.
Going on there.
Well, that song was sampled because I've heard that before in the rap songs.
Yep. And that talks about the age differences between you and me, right? Because I really had no idea that song I was talking about.
I thought one of the highlights of halftime was Southern University. This is an early homecoming. Homecoming season really starts in October, but they said, well, since we haven't had a homecoming this early, it's in the month of September. They had to play Earth, Wind, and Fire in September. That was a good one.
So after the penalty, we're down inside the 25-yard line now. And this is Waller on the delay, and he goes down. Might have lost a half yard on that one. But the most important thing you're doing now, if you're Alcorn, is simply running clock. We're getting down inside 4 minutes to go and getting out of here with a victory and spoiling the homecoming of Jaguar Nation here in Baton Rouge.
Our fault. What is it? If Southern loses this game, is this 4 out of 5 years they've lost to Alcorn?
That would be 5 out of 6 now.
5 out of 6. It's been a long time since they beat Grambling as well. It's still early in conference play.
The only solace they take out, Jaguar Nation, that is, out of this one is that Grambling lost earlier tonight. So they have something to feel happy about, but certainly not a lot going in this game. And Waller gets away and trying to dance around and get back to the original line of scrimmage. He stopped short there. So it'll be 3rd down and long as he lost another yard. Call it 3rd and 12.
It's going to be an interesting season in HBCU football. Obviously, you know, for so long, A&T was the cream of the crop, you know, wire to wire last year. But it seems as if they showed a little chink in their armor. Got beat by Morgan State in one of the biggest upsets in FCS.
Alcorn, I mean, you know, earlier the score was a lot closer than this. Your assessment of the Braves after watching them here against Southern, you think this is a team that might make some noise before it's all said and done?
Yeah, you know. And to be quite honest, we've known that the West, the East has always been a little bit easier than the West, so we'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it.
Look at that! Yeah. Oh my God, he juked every single guy in the field.
Is the second Air McNair, Steve, who starred at Alcorn State. Now push being made to get him into the College Football Hall of Fame.
Just for clarity, He's been eligible for the NFL Hall of Fame for a number of years. After 5 years of retirement, he can go in. But the College Football Hall of Fame, I think it's just been the oversight. The schools getting behind him, everybody's pushing. He's going into the College Football Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. Nobody in the history of FCS football did it better than Steve McNair.
He was a monster. Absolutely.
You know, when all these spread offenses they've got now and his record still stand, you know he was a bad boy.
Here is Thomas.
But I got to say this.
Or Foreman, rather. I'm sorry.
As good as McNair was, though, couldn't get that Sky kid up there in D.C. That Sky brother up in D.C. was 2-0 against him. But rest in peace, Steve, always, man. It was a great rivalry we had during the 90s, and I'm the biggest fan. Need to get Aaron McNair in the College Football Hall of Fame.
That was Marquise Foreman on the little draw play. So they're going to run as much clock down as possible as they get ready for a 4th down play as we go inside of 2 minutes to go in the ball game. A little option. Foreman slips down, but he didn't have much room to operate over on the far side. So they'll turn it over on downs. And Southern will take over for the final 152.
Okay, Kevin, USAA Bank is here to help you stay on track. Budget's looking good. Fit for a fill-up? And green light some beef jerky, too. Thanks, Chief.
USAA Bank helps you stay a step ahead. Find help at every turn.
Yeah!
With USAA Bank.
We don't just make cars. We make technology that moves people. This is the 2018 Nissan Rogue, featuring tech like Pro Pilot Assist. It helps keep you centered in your lane and in control. This is how Nissan Intelligent Mobility is reinventing driving for everyone. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
In regulation, down by 17 to Southern. Half the ball, only 4 plays. Is their 5th play of the 4th quarter. And only 51 seconds up to this point. And you can understand why it's a 17-point margin here as we approach the 90-second mark remaining in regulation. And again, not a great showing in homecoming, but not an easy opponent to have on the schedule for homecoming either.
Yeah, their offense just looked dead tonight. I mean, they just couldn't get anything going. If you don't score a touchdown on homecoming, that's going to have the folks here on the bluff talking.
John Lampley's pass is incomplete.
Lampley that time looking for Kendall Catalan and overshot that one, incomplete. So 3rd down. Alcorn will move to 2-0 in conference play in the SWAC, and Southern will fall to 1-1. Alcorn has Alabama State next week. Out pattern and getting 1st down yardage, keeping the clock going out to the 35-yard line is Randall Menard.
You talk about Alcorn going. Alcorn's probably going to go into the top 5. Grambling. Man, I'm going to do that right now. You will see a change from Grambling.
And Grambling losing earlier today to Prairie View.
So we got to make this official. So Grambling, man, it's been good. I can't believe I'm Xing them off. Prairie View's on the rise. And then Alcorn, I'm going to give you a number. We'll give you a number 4.
All right.
Coming here on the road, knocking off this team here during their homecoming.
Looking pretty solid, pretty balanced team on offense, especially with the running attack from their quarterback, and that one knocked in the air and incomplete. As the intended receiver was Menard once again.
That could have been an interception had the defensive back done the right thing. And tell you what, he could be. Yeah, he's lucky he doesn't get hit for targeting.
Southern with only 2 drives of over 4 plays in this game so far. That's how their offense has been stymied in this one. They fling it out and get the receiver across midfield and down to the 49-yard line.
See, this is the play you get away with something here on this pass here. I was wondering why this ball wasn't intercepted. It was in the air for so long. So watch when the defender comes over. Does he lower his helmet and go for the knockout? Got away with one there. I thought he lowered the crown of his helmet there, because had he been looking, he would have saw the ball right there in the air and would have got the interception.
Now they held up play at the line of scrimmage as the clock continued to run and time ran out. So that is it. Fred McNair gets the victory.
Smile, Fred, you won.
As his Alcorn State Braves come in here and spoil homecoming for the Jaguars of Southern University here in Baton Rouge. Your final 20-3 as both head coaches come out and exchange greeting. Dawson Odoms go back to the drawing board a little bit and see what his team is going to do from here on out. Southern is next up against Prairie View after a week off. They're at Prairie View on the 13th. We know how tough Prairie View is. Homecoming nonetheless. Southern University a loser, 20-3. Alcorn 2-0 in the conference. Southern falls to 1-1. For Jay Walker and all of us here at ESPN, Eric Clemens saying so long. We'll see you around.